All right, let's eat some dungeon. There's not that much dungeon left to eat, so let's get chewing on it. Uh, yeah, I don't think I need to do that much more of intro, except to say the way that these reaction videos work is a little bit different than a bunch of the other ones on YouTube, which is to say, these work a little bit more like if you and I were sitting next to each other on a couch with each our own laptop and our own version of the episode playing. And we stay in sync, and every once in a while, I get a little bit yappy. So I'll say 3, 2, 1. Then we'll both pause at the same time. I will do my yapping, and then I'll say 3, 2, 1, go. And then we'll go, and we'll sort of stay in sync that way. There's also a timestamp in the upper left corner, and you'll see subtitles on the screen as well to help you identify exactly where I am so that you can keep up with me. That's the way this works. Inconvenient for you, convenient for me. That's the way I like it. Let's watch some Dungeon Meshy. 3, 2, 1, go. Do, 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 do. Ba, 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 ba. It's such a good melody. Singing, oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. I need to figure out the goddamn counting on that. Oh, oh, oh. I do love the pastels and like the very sort of soft shadows they use in the aesthetic on a lot of this. There's a really cozy vibe to it. Oh, hello, Hermes. Please don't chew on that. No. 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 Hermes. Night. Night. Cats. Night. Hermes. Night. Leave it alone. Let it weg. Up. He wants to chew on cables so bad. Night. Hermes. Night. Cats. Appropriate to see Isutsumi on screen. Isutsumi, rather. Oh, hello. Can't show that on YouTube. 3, 2, 1, pause. So, visual storytelling, right? They see this city made of gold. We do the sort of stereotypical Tolkien dwarf thing about being hypnotized by greed. And then the moment the first guy dies, right? Like, up until this point, everything's gold. Everything's golden. It's gold all the way down. And then the moment the first guy dies, oh, look, is this all the gold is coming off of it? Well, isn't that interesting? That now that they're in, and now that they can't get out anymore, all of a sudden, no, all the patina is sort of coming off, right? Like, that's basically, like, again, visual storytelling, but it's an effective thing. And you really do see the way that Senshi, like, patterns himself on this guy, right? Because this guy is, like, he's the one who's kindest to Senshi, first of all, but he's also the one who's most practical, right? Like, who's like, all right, calm down. There's a way to deal with this. He's the first one to suggest eating monsters. He's the first one, right? Might genuinely get demonetized for that one. I know there's no nipples there or anything, but still, like, whoa. That is a gorgeous lady, though. And I do like that it is specifically a dwarf lady. Right? At this point, it's eat or be eaten. And, like, Senshi has this guy's helmet, but he also has that guy's huge beard and long hair, right? Like, you can see the ways, like, and fuck, like, even the outfit is Senshi, right? Like, you can see in the character design the way that Senshi is so explicitly and strongly patterning himself on this dude. Who, like, clearly he looks up to. And again, I just cannot emphasize enough just character design, man. Just design of characters. Look how different they are from each other. Look how distinct. Look how much their bodies reflect the kind of lives that they lead, right? Because this guy is the sort of prospector or like geologist or whatever it is, rock analyzer. He's the dude who's in charge of that, right? So he's not really Mr. Mining Dude so much. So he's a little bit more skinny. He's a little bit more scraggly. His shirt sits really loose on him, especially compared to his companion over here, Thorin Oakenshield, with his like huge like muscle physique and all of that. Like the way that this guy is like completely chiseled, but this guy is much more like a strongman archetype. Just you get a sense that these people lead different lives, that they have different morphologies, and it makes them so much more characterful than if everyone is just like identical in that way. Anyway, Senshi said, "I'm afraid of being alone." Oh, look what happens to him. I wonder if he's about to make some kind of silly decision because of it. Who knows? 3, 2, 1, go. And it targets the weakest first, I guess. Oh, that explains also like the Kelpie, right? It's grim. Oh, the delivery. Just drastic shift in tone. Nope, can't show that on YouTube. Liars. Yeah, that doesn't look quite similar, does it? It's such a clever little thing. 3, 2, 1, pause. Ah. Senshi's backstory is like, it's clever, isn't it? Rough, also. But clever. Because, again, it's like the theme of the story, right? This thing about eating, being eaten, and how consumption sort of makes you part of other people. Senshi's fear is that he has literally eaten another dwarf, right? That he's committed cannibalism, right? That he has used someone that he cared about for food, right? Which is, there's a reason why that's a taboo, right? Like, it's a grim thing. And there are few things in the world that act as a more potent embodiment of survivor's guilt. The idea that someone else died so that you could live, right? Like, that you only exist because someone else sacrificed themselves for you. Or, as the case may be, were sacrificed. That, like, obviously, as we learn, that's not quite what happened. But it is that thing, right? We've spoken so much about how meals help you carry other people with you in small and major ways. And that's sort of the major thing that happens here, right? I need to scroll further to get it. That when he tastes the hippogriff meat again, right? Like, that meat that he remembers, which was like the thing that let him survive, like the crucial meal that let him survive. We get this, and then this, right? Like, very explicit visual language that, like, draws a comparison, like, between his newfound family and his old family, but also this idea that the meal is what allows him to reclaim the memory of them, right? Because he eats that meal again, now he can think back on them instead of thinking of them with guilt, right? Instead of thinking of them only in terms of, like, I was the dead weight that dragged them down and they died because of me. Instead of thinking of them only in the ways of like the survivor's guilt of what he took from them, right? Like the food that he ate and like the ways that he thought that someone had been murdered to feed him. Instead of thinking of them like that, now he's able to think of them like this, right? He's able to remember this instead of that, right? He's able to remember the family that they were instead of the conflict, instead of the blame, instead of the self-blame that he felt. Like these are the memories he has left of them now, because his lens for viewing them is all guilt. But once he tastes the hippogriff meat, like once he tastes this meal, right, he becomes able to reframe his memories into, I'm here because they cared about me, because they loved me, right? Not because I took from them, but because they gave to me, which is substantial difference in framing. And so through this meal, this repetition of the meal, he's able to carry them with him, right? He's able to make them a part of him rather than like feeling this desperate guilt of wanting to like separate himself from them and their memory. Like he can integrate, right? It's that I'm struggling to sort of find the way to articulate the thought in my head concisely. but it's about the ways in which we become part of each other, right? And one of the things that's harming Senshi is that he's feeling cut off from his family in that way, right? Like, he's cut off by the guilt of all of it. And so the meal allows him to become a part of them again, right? And it allows him to fully become a part of the new party, right? To fully become a part of them as well. Rather than, like, because with that constant guilt, that's part of why Senshi hasn't shared so much about himself, right? He has all this guilt inside of him, all this pain, all this fear. That has separated him from them as well. Like, quite literally, it's separated them from each other, in the sense that, like, Senshi ran away and was taken by the hippogriff, right? Like literally and figuratively, the guilt separated him from them, and this then is a melding together, right? And once again, we have a family unit, like, or a group of people that come together and become united as a unit through a meal of food, right? And symbolically, this is represented also, right, by Senshi returning to the helmet. And returning rather than his, like, as we talked about, his more complex character design, returning to the role he was playing, returning to the person, but it's different now, right? Now he wears the helmet and it means something else. Where before it was like, the helmet in many ways was sort of a representation of his guilt, right? Like this thing that sort of shuts him away from his full complex humanity. Now it becomes this, oh, I'm carrying the memory of these people forward with me. Like, the narrative has reframed the character design. And it's interesting. Again, I fucking need to make that full video essay about the character design of Dungeon Meshi at some point. I need to. It's gonna be so hard to wait until season 2. I mean, I could do it in multiple parts, but I want to make a big one. I want to make the whole thing 2 hours, 5 minutes, 38 hours long video essay, just fucking going into detail about it, all of it. Oh, Dungeon Meshi is so fucking good. Anyway, like, actually, before we move on, just the tone management, the way they handle tone, right? It's like, I'm afraid to finally learn the truth. And he's sitting there, he's talking about, like, he might have eaten one of his own companions in order to survive. He has all this deep trauma, like, brutalized and immiserated by the dungeon. And then Laios is just like, well, we got that. Do you want to eat the griffin? We got the griffin. Do you want to eat it? That's just saying. Like, no tact, no tone, no sense of occasion. Boy. Right? And it's not that he's wrong, right? It's not that, like, Laios' thinking is clear here, right? It's like, oh, you carry all this doubt and guilt along with you? Well, there's a way to resolve it. Like, so let's just do that. Like, it seems like there's a way to solve this problem. Like, if it's a completely different flavor, then that sucks. Again, not wrong. He's not incorrect in any way. He just doesn't have the affect that matches, like, the social expectations of the situation. Gee, I wonder why so many people headcanon him as autistic. I can't even think of why. Because, like, nothing he does here is malicious or in bad faith, right? Like, nothing he does here is cruel or meant to harm Senshi in any way. He's only trying to help in extremely good faith, and he's making good, rational, sensible suggestions about how to resolve the emotional problem that's at the heart here. But just, like, this thing of, all right, let's eat a griffin then. And I do like that, again. So, I don't want to spoil things. Yeah, I'm saying something different then. I like that it's Laios' specific hyperfixation, right? Like, it's his specific interest and knowledge of all of this weird dungeon ephemera that allows him specifically to be the person who's able to resolve Senshi's pain, right? Well, not resolve it, but like move him from it, right? That it's specifically because he is such a fucking monster nerd that he recognizes those, right? That he understands what these things are, when no one else does. Because why would anyone else know about them? They were practically exterminated, right? Like, that was the thing about in the backstories. Like, these things were practically wiped out. They got rid of them, so now they're almost nowhere in the world. So only some complete monster nerd, like absolute bookworm who devours all information he can possibly get, would know that, right? Like, would have the sort of fixated attention to go and look for this completely useless, outdated knowledge that there's no function for up in the real world. I like that. I like that it is like that these solutions emerge from the characters' traits, right? Like from the things that are specific and special about them. And also, bear in mind that it was Laios who did this. Right, that Laios, through his understanding of monsters and through the preparing of that meal, was the one who was able to move Senshi emotionally on from his greatest trauma. Keep that in mind for season 2, because it's, oh boy, it's that's going to be important. Now let's move on. 3, 2, 1, go. Character design, character design, character design, character design, character design, character design, character design. Character design, character design, character design, character design. Character design! Character design! I forgot how funny that looks. Character design. See, okay. Character design. I'm gonna have a. The voice actors are so good. I'm desperate to start talking about character design, but I want to finish the episode. Getting dog hair in it. Aw. That's so, the dog hair is there. Itadakimasu. Anyway, fucking character design. Okay. Character design. See, one of the things about the way Ryuko Kuie designs characters, like the approach that she has to character design, is that her characters are distinguishable and unique enough, both from each other and just like as designs, that she can do something that a lot of other anime heavily struggles to do. A lot of other anime style character design has this limitation where it really struggles to do what Ryuko Kuie's character designs can do, which is her characters can remain recognizable even if you change their stature, their body type, like their weight, their morphology, their species in this case, and their costume. Well, Isutsumi, a unique case there, but and their costume, right? These characters literally can all swap costumes and go around in each other's stuff and in each other's bodies, essentially, and still be recognizable as exactly who they are. That's unusual. If you take two given Genshin Impact characters, like there's 3 body types in Genshin Impact more or less for playable characters, take any 2 of them that have the same body type and swap their costumes around. You'll have a fucking hard time telling who is who. Take any 3 of them and swap both their body types and their costumes around. Not a chance in hell you'll be able to identify which one is which underneath. I'd use Genshin Impact as an easy sort of hobby horse to beat on here, but this is true across a lot of anime. A lot of anime, because of the way that it's stylized, because of the way that anime character design is heavily costume focused. A lot of anime character design is not really about designing bodies. It's not really about designing full characters. It's much more focused on designing a costume that can be put on a given standard body. That's where one of these limitations come from. And there's many reasons for this, like especially in anime. A part of the reason why that aesthetic has emerged the way that it did is because for the purposes of animation, less diversity makes it easier. And like having heavily stylized costumes that are extremely recognizable is in some ways from a production perspective easier than having a bunch of characters with unique body types, because unique body types have to animate differently. Like there's different things that need to be done. You need animators with broader skill sets. It takes a longer amount of time, and a lot of anime production is all about like budgeting and saving time wherever possible, right? And so a lot of anime struggles with this. This whole thing that his entire storyline is built around is something that it would be difficult for a lot of anime with a lot of styles, within a lot of genres, they would have a difficult time accomplishing this, where the characters are so instantly readable just from their visuals, right? Senshi, you might struggle to recognize a little bit. If like there was a whole bunch of other elves there and they did a swaparoo before we got to see him. And yet still, with the dark hair and like the limited amount of beard, which almost no other elf has, I think you'd still be able to pick him out. Izuzumi, of course, is a slightly more unique case because she just turns into a kobold, but she retains all of her colors. For her body colors are kind of a major part of her costume as well as her morphology. So if you changed her fur color, that might make her a lot more difficult to recognize. But just I cannot emphasize to you, like, and I not just bagging on anime here. Like, a lot of visual media struggles with this. A lot of visual media, fucking Hollywood, like, how many? Have you seen those pictures of like Hollywood leading men all sort of lined up next to each other, and they all look like the exact same fucking white guy in like two different fonts, just repeated over and over? Like, any form of media that regresses constantly to archetype and especially to like beauty standard will have this problem of a lack of recognizability, right? Of a lack of distinction. And it's a problem for character design. It's a genuine issue for character design when artistic mediums are unwilling to use the full extent of the medium of character design to do the work of visual communication. By the way, another bit of character design. Just that Chilchuck, normally basically sort of indistinguishable from a human child, right? Like, that's a major part. That's a part of like, oh yeah, humans mistake half-foots for children all the time. Senshi keeps treating Chilchuck kind of like a kid, like all of that, right? But then when he gets turned into a tall man, it's like arguably, oh no, this is arguably just more accurate to who he is all the time. It's like a tired 30-something with like permanent 5 o'clock shadow, like, who doesn't take care of himself very well. That's just I do love that Kui took that opportunity to like, oh, let's, if Chilchuck was any other species, right, like any other race than a half-foot, oh yeah, no, he'd look like depressed dad. He'd look like the depressed dad that he truly is. Which is just, that's good. And it's also like, Senshi as an elf is like this just like impossibly Bishonen motherfucker, right? And I do like the implication that also means like two dwarves, right? Two dwarves, from a dwarf perspective, Senshi is just like impossibly pretty, right? Like this beautiful, pretty little wayfish wisp. That he's dwarf Bishonen. I really like the implication of that, right? That's what Senshi is, but that just doesn't read to us in the same way. It's just, character design. Character design! Oh, character design. Just like, motherfucker. It excites me. It makes me so happy. Because, like, it's not wrong or evil or bad to have character design in the style of Genshin Impact. I don't like it very much, but it's not like there are problems with it. There are problematic aspects to it. There are to everything. Not that they're all equivalent, but everything has problematic aspects to it. But like, it's not wrong or evil, and you're not stupid if you like Genshin Impact character design. Let's stress that. If you like the anime style of character design, you're not stupid. Millions of people like it. Like, it because it's extremely likable. It is designed to be extremely aesthetically appealing. It's just that style of appeal and reproducibility over all else, it leads to limitations. And I get so excited, I get so happy when I see something so actively engage with that limitation and like mark out a clear path, a progression by which it may be overcome, right? Like, mark out so clearly an argument. Like, Dungeon Meshi as a whole for me is an argument for why character design matters and why people shouldn't be afraid to take the lessons from this show and from that manga and apply them, right? Like, why you shouldn't ever feel constrained to that which is popularly acceptable. Because, like, the accusation that I get a lot, which is annoying, and I don't engage with it because it's dumb shit said by morons acting in deeply bad faith, is like, you just want all characters to be ugly. Like, no, motherfucker. You incomprehensible dipshit. Like, no, motherfucker. I don't want all characters to be ugly. I want them to be different from one another. I want the ways that they look to have some kind of communicative meaning to who they are within the context of their narratives. I want their looks to matter beyond just being appealing, beyond just being pretty, beyond just being beautiful. And that doesn't mean you have to make them ugly, whatever the fuck that means. Like, ugly is a whole category that is entirely fungible and utterly socially constructed. But, like, you don't have to make them ugly in order to make them good. But you can do something. You can do things even within the narrow stricture of I want all the characters to be beautiful. Even within that very narrow gap, you don't have to conform every character to the beauty standard to make them all beautiful. There's many ways for a character to look hot. There's many ways for a character to look beautiful. Like, there's options. There's options available, and I just want character designers to use them. And Dungeon Meshi, for me, is such a wonderful handbook in how to do that. Thanks for that, Apollo. Could you not? Yeah, maybe don't do that. He knocked down one of my instruments. It's not damaged or anything, it just fell over. Silly boy. I just want designers, artists, to take advantage of the full range of options that are available to them. And, like, of course, one of the reasons why they don't is commercial viability, right? Like so much of the pressure from commercial viability homogenizes character design. And I've spoken about this with, like, one of the things I hate about the introduction of explicit gacha to League of Legends is that the commercial pressure from gacha as a mode of monetization is you need to make people really want to do as many pulls as it takes to get the thing that they want. And in order to make people excited to do that... What? What are you whining about? Apollo's hyphy. In order to get people excited to want to pay for, like, whatever number of pulls it takes, in order to get people to pull on that fucking slot machine, right, and get into that sort of addictive gambling loop, the easiest and most consistent way to do that is to just zero in really hard on appeal, to make everything maximally cool, maximally beautiful, maximally horny, if that was like, but just appeal, just appeal, beauty, coolness, just all of that maxed up to the max, and then everything else is like fucking whatever, right? And that's what we see with gacha, right? Like, that's why gacha game character design is the way that is, why Genshin Impact looks the way it does, is because that's the factor. And even gacha games that sort of try for more different interesting things, they're still, like, even if they don't go for sexiness or beauty, they still go all the way in for appeal. Above all else, appeal. A gacha game can't produce this version of Chilchuck, is basically what I'm saying. Because the commercial pressure, like, in order for that to be commercially viable, in order for that to extract money, you can't make a character who looks unappealing, which Chilchuck does here. Like, he's explicitly designed to be unappealing. I know there's going to be people in the comments like, no, this is exactly the kind of, like, miserable, depressed, alcoholic dad that I want to fuck. Completely valid. I'm not quibbling with you. But also, he's explicitly designed to look kind of like, ugh. Right? Like, you're explicitly meant to be like, oh, that's fucked up. And you're meant to look at Senshi and be like, how the fuck is he so pretty? So, like, that's one of the strictures of, like that commercial pressure, right? So commercial artists who work at Riot Games, who work at MiHoYo, who work at whatever, they are all capable of doing much better, and they know it. They don't need me to tell them that they're capable of doing better, more interesting, and diverse things than what they're doing. But it's like, I just get excited for Dungeon Meshi because of this. Because Ryuko Kui as a character designer seems... I mean, you can't really tell who a person is from their art, but it feels, as for me as an experience, engaging with her work, it feels like she kind of has the same brain as me about this a little bit. Right? Not that we're, like, compatico or that we'd be friends if you met in real life or whatever. Who the fuck? Like, I'm not about to make any conclusion about that, but just, this is a rare work whose approach to character design, whose approach to visual design scratches exactly the itch that I have. Just like laser focused, right? Like right on the itch, there's a little laser targeting point. A sniper who's like 9 miles away is like pointing a stop knocking things down, Apollo. Jesus Christ. Is aiming a bullet directly at it, just like 360 no scopes me right through the back of the head with that itch scratching bullet. It's so targeted at me, and I'm so happy. Again, someone chose doing a great job, like mixing between Senshi as the adult that he is, the child that he was in his flashback, and then the elf that he is now. Like, the dub on this anime is fucking excellent. It really, really is. I don't regret watching it in the dub at all. What? What? What don't you go at me? You little terrorist. Terrorist, get up here. What do you have to say for yourself? Well, he's trying to chew on the microphone. So I guess that's your answer. Okay, stay with me for a bit, you little shit, while I close this video, and then I'll kick you out of here. Maybe give you a snack or something, you little monster. Oh, you little monster. Yes, you are. You're a monster. You're horrible. Yeah, you are. Soft, fluffy boy. He's my teddy bear. I love him so much. Anyway, the fuck was I talking about? Oh, right. I was ranting about character design. But that's more or less what I wanted to say about that. So, yeah. Become a member of the channel to get early access to things. If you want my feedback on your character design, there's a tier of membership available for that. You can check that out if you want to. Or don't, if you don't want to, because you don't have to. Bye.